to That Wrestling Podcast.
Welcome to That Wrestling Podcast. The good bad guys of wrestling podcasts are back. We're talking all things of the week that was in professional wrestling. Thanks for checking us out, guys, whether you're watching on YouTube. Thank you so much for that. If you haven't, of course, like and subscribe. You can also, of course, listen to the audio version on Spotify, on Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts. We are literally everywhere. Well, almost all of us are literally everywhere.
The streak's
Jason's
over.
here.
The streak,
The streak's over.
2 weeks streak.
Go ahead.
And Brian, you forgot to mention this is the season premiere of that.
Yes, the season premiere of That Wrestling Podcast. My apologies. Yes. Yeah.
Are we hurting that much for ratings that we have to call it the season premiere now?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, clearly.
You obviously need more of me. That's what you need if you're suffering in ratings. I'm Coney Todd. I gotta go. Bye.
The fans demand more Coney. Unbelievable. Yeah, our Undertaker WrestleMania-like streak of 2 weeks in a row of all four of us are on the podcast is over because Joe is here and Jason is here and Kevin is not. I believe he's literally in a cave.
I think
that's
so.
a shoot.
Thing with his kid. So
yeah, he literally said that. So hopefully he gets out of that and maybe he can join the rest of us next week. But until then,
maybe it's a darkness retreat like Aaron Rodgers.
Oh, he's gonna find clarity in his life. Is that what the goal is with that?
You know, and his podcast life goals and that, you know, what he's trying to accomplish. Needs to figure those things out. So he goes into the darkness retreat for 4 days. He'll come out next Monday, and then when we record next Thursday, maybe we'll have an answer.
Knowing that we're talking about Kevin, I give that slim to none.
This guy loves Survivor. I guarantee that's what he's doing.
That's true. I was going to say he was probably just thinking about Survivor strategy. So maybe there's an angle there.
And apparently, the newest season of Survivor is completely different than the past. So I don't know what that means because I've never watched one episode of Survivor.
Right.
You know, Kevin's been trying to get on Survivor for about 15 years now. But yeah, or maybe the Darkness Retreat is a lie and he just wanted to watch Survivor tonight.
Is that it? That is the Darkness Retreat, is a watching of Survivor on this couch. We'll find out. We'll find out.
We know Kevin doesn't believe in DVR. He has to watch stuff live.
Yeah, especially Survivor. So, okay. All right, well, we think we've got it figured out. We'll find out for sure next week. But as far as the rest of us goes, our job is to talk about professional wrestling. So we'll do just that. Lots to talk about, guys. A lot of just little things. Not like one crazy, huge, big story, but I think a lot of interesting stuff happened this week. We'll back it up first. We'll go back to SmackDown. We talked in last episode about the return of Roman Reigns. Where is that going? Well, Roman comes out with interrupting John Cena. Cena acknowledging Roman and saying, I'm not worthy of a shot, but I know someone who is, and it's LA Knight. And yeah, he comes down and they do a little promo fun. So that looks like the direction for Crown Jewel. We'll probably find out later on tonight on SmackDown. But guys, what do you think of this development? Because it wasn't all too long ago. I'll raise both hands. Really worried about what the direction was with LA Knight. It was WWE dropping the ball. And here we are in mid-October. It's him and the Tribal Chief. So that's a hell of a change from where we were not too long ago.
I think this is a case of striking while the iron's hot. Los Angeles Knight might not be the guy for the next 5 years for the WWE, but he's the guy right now.
Yeah.
Mr. Right Now is what LA Knight is for the WWE. And he handled himself pretty well with Roman in the ring, I thought. You know, he's amazing on the microphone, and he didn't look like he was afraid of Roman. So I think that it's a good start. It was a good first step into this program of him losing at Crown Jewel.
Right, yeah, that's a given. He's going to lose at Crown Jewel. But you know what? He's getting the main event shot at Crown Jewel, which was it last year? He faced Logan Paul, who's like, huge star inside and outside the WWE. So, like, this is a prime spot. This is the fall's WrestleMania, I guess, for them. So, you know what? Give them the shot. That works for me.
Okay. That's what I was going to ask, Joe.
What do you think? But what do you think of Mark Henry's response of saying that John Cena should have stepped out of the ring and let LA Knight had his moment?
Well, we needed John Cena in the ring for his awkward.
Yeah, did we need that?
He does do a lot of that.
Weird facial, surprise facials.
Yes.
Man. That's the only reason he should have stepped out. Not because of a respect thing, not because of giving Los Angeles Knight the ring. It was just so he could have his awkward facials.
So, but
Yeah,
I
think he could have stepped out.
I didn't notice it as it was happening. Like Mark Henry points that out on Busted Open, and I'm like, yeah, that sounds like what Cena would do. I didn't notice it in the moment, so when he said that, I was a little surprised, but I know where he was coming from.
No, I was focusing on LA Knight's glasses and the reflection with Roman Reigns looking at him. I'm like, that's a poster right there. That's a T-shirt.
That's a great camera shot by whoever got that. But of course, now that's turning into the meme generator where they're just photoshopping like Rhea's ass.
Yeah, I think I saw that one.
Or
Who does that?
Something with Donald Trump because the MAGA people love Los Angeles Knight.
Yeah.
I mean, it's so many things I've seen online, but
yeah,
man, meme generator Los Angeles Knight or meme generator John Cena. Which would you prefer, really?
Yeah, I mean, we've seen Cena a couple of times, so I'm down with it. I want to go back to the timing of it all because you would just think of a guy like him he's moving up the ladder, intercontinental champion, and then whatever. But this went from, I mean, who did he last face? Was it Miz? Really?
Slim Jim.
Yeah.
He beat Slim Jim.
Yeah.
He last faced in a tag match with John Cena. He just beat the Bloodline.
Okay, all right,
It makes sense. It's a story.
Yeah, true.
I mean, if you're talking about singles, yeah, it was the Miz, but Miz is an A-lister and a first ballot Hall of Famer, so what's the problem?
Yeah, it just seemed like a quick jump. I wasn't surprised when it happened, but it was still just, wow, this is really happening right now. And Jay, you said it. Is the answer 0% or is it 0.001%?
I don't know.
0.1? Is it literally 0?
At this point, Roman's going to decide when he loses the title.
Yeah.
And for him to surpass Hogan, he has to keep it until at least WrestleMania.
Yeah.
So if this is a situation where they're trying to erase all the old timer records, Honky Tonk Man, Demolition, Roman's keeping that title until at least WrestleMania. And I'm all right with that. I want him to keep it until WrestleMania 50. Break Bruno's record too.
Oh my God. Joe, is it 0 or is it 0.001? Anything?
There's no chance. This is 0. No chance in hell he's going to win. But he's in the main event. He's in the main event at a major premium live event. Good for him. Would not have expected it a year ago when he was coming back as LA Knight, because it wasn't about a year ago when he was Max Dupree.
Just about a year ago. Yeah.
And then squashed that and see how that turned out for everyone else. But yeah, he's a great turnaround. Strike while the iron's hot. Boom, done.
Yeah. I think that's probably it. It's probably a one and done thing. And yeah, I'm in the same way.
I don't think it's a one and done. Who said it's a one and done?
I do.
Yeah, I think he's gonna get. I think he's gonna get a rematch. I don't think it's gonna be a one and done. He's gonna get a rematch on like a SmackDown.
Yeah, I see Crown Jewel, and then it probably moves to a maybe the War Games at Survivor Series, and then we won't see Roman again until I guess maybe the Rumble, and then maybe WrestleMania. So yeah, I don't see a lot of rematches in the future.
Yeah, we'll see him at an Elimination Chamber too. It's in Australia.
Okay. That's a good call. They need to bring some big stars out for a big show like that. Okay, well, we'll keep an eye on that one. Big developments for that. Other with SmackDown, Nick Aldis, Triple H announced him as the new SmackDown general manager. Now, he's an interesting case because he's never been a WWE guy. We know he's married to Mickie James. A lot of time in Impact TNA back in the day, and probably the most I guess became familiar with him was the lead up to the first All In with Cody for the NWA Championship. He was like NWA champion for like 1,000 days. But not a guy, honestly, that I've seen a ton of, just kind of, known the name through the years. Jay, maybe you know him a little bit more. So you see this move of Nick Aldis as SmackDown GM. What's your feeling?
Love it. Loved it. When I saw it Friday night, I thought this is what a season premiere is supposed to be. There was a new figurehead. Adam Pearce got promoted to Raw. But we're also at a point, too, in Nick Aldis that he can still go if needed, which means that
Joe can still go, too, off the podcast. Apparently, we've lost Joe. We'll see if he comes back. Continue, Jay.
This is a situation where we could have two general managers that still can go. Adam Pearce, as Scrap Daddy Adam Pearce, he was a great wrestler. He was an NWA champion as well. So then you have Nick Aldis, former NWA champion, never was in WWE, which is pretty amazing at this point that a guy that's been around so long never decided to go there. So here we are. We have him. I feel like this is a placeholder position until William Regal's non-compete is over and he can show up on TV, which I believe is another year. So he called us for a year in this role. And look, at the second biggest stare down of that show between Roman and Cody, Aldis was right in the middle. He's like, not tonight. We're not doing this here. And that's like ballsy to jump in between those two, Cody and Roman. Mm-hmm. I loved it. I thought it was an amazing segment. I'm glad he's there. And he looks fucking amazing in suits.
Yeah. That was my takeaway too, was just like, boy, he fits the role simply because of his stature and just, the nice suit. Is he British, Jay?
Yes.
Yeah. So he's got that, you talked about William Regal. So he's got that aura of being a Britain fighter to him. He had that fun line with Dominic of just, I'm a big fan of your dad. And everybody cracked up at that.
And that's what I mean. That's the stuff that for a season premiere, was just I loved it. I thought everything about that entire show, but having a great surprise like Aldis, nobody saw that coming. No one heard that was happening. Last I heard, he was being groomed to be a backstage producer.
Yes, I'd heard that as well.
And then Vince went away. Funny how that works. So that's a whole nother topic of just apparently Ari Emanuel said, no, this is Triple H's show now, from what you read online. So you could probably notice some programming differences since that decision was made. But great start. And he also took care of for his very first appearance of revealing the SmackDown compensation for the trade of Jey Uso to Raw. And that was Kevin Owens. And so we all thought, and I think it was pretty plain to see, that if Cody pulled some strings and to do this, hey, that's the way to get to Roman, that Cody's going to trade himself. But it was Kevin Owens. So your surprise level about this, and I guess let's maybe take a glimpse into the future, Jay, on just maybe anybody that comes to mind now that Kevin's on SmackDown of, maybe this sets up this match. Well, I think that it makes sense. I think this is Cody driving a wedge between Sammy and Kevin because Kevin was the most vocal about Cody. Why are you bringing Uso to Raw?
Mm-hmm.
So, the fact that another former NWA champion has played the role of a general manager this week on WWE television, and Cody at NXT, he obviously has pulled some strings on that trade to get Jey Uso for Kevin Owens. It's all part of the story. This is all part of the story. And, Sammy and Kevin did all they could do this time. I mean, they main evented night 1 of WrestleMania. They won the tag belts. So now it's time to go on and do your own thing. Now, I don't know what that is. I don't know what that means for Sammy. I think Sammy could be the one to beat Gunther. I think that'd be a fun feud. Get him back in the title. I wish he would get a haircut, though. Sami Zayn, cut the hair. Shave the beard. Become champion.
He's still kind of in this weird limbo of I was this crazy guy from a year ago, and yeah, nothing. He's like kind of put together now, but not so much after he's abandoned his bloodline.
If he cuts the hair and keeps that beard shaped up, Sami Zayn could be the new IC champ.
Okay, all right, Joe. We're talking about Kevin Owens. The first move from Nick Aldis, the general manager, is bringing him as the compensation to SmackDown. We all thought it was initially going to be, this is Cody's move.
It was like set up to Cody, but
so now that it's Kevin Owens, what are you thinking about this kind of bigger picture about him being on SmackDown and kind of where it's going?
I'm happy for him because, like, as much as I love seeing him and Sami Zayn together as a tag team and everything, if they're not going to get the tag championships back, then they're both single stars. So they always eventually find their way back together at one point anyway. So it gets Kevin Owens some fresh opponents, and I'm all for that. And more Kevin Owens on TV, the better. And I feel like he was going to get lost in the shuffle with Jey Uso, them pushing him to the moon on Raw.
Well, let's talk about that, because that's kind of the flip side of this, that Sami Zayn comes out on Raw and talks about, my guy's been traded. And he was the guy who was the main, let's give Jey Uso a chance. He's here and it's okay. He's, second chances.
And now
he's torn because Jay's here. And so Kevin has to leave his best friend. I tell you guys, this is not a twist I saw coming. And I'm pretty intrigued on where it's going. I didn't even pick up on this until it was really taking place live on the show. So did it get you guys like it got me, Jay?
Like I said earlier, I didn't see it coming, but now that it's here, okay. And that means Joe, you have to go buy a blue.
I'm not buying the blue shirt.
KO duct tape shirt.
No, I'm gonna wear the silver one in honor of Kevin Owens, like Sami Zayn did.
Okay.
Oh, that's what he did. You're right.
Yeah,
You're
that
right.
was an honor. I mean, I'm gonna wear that in honor of him being on Raw. And you know what? I'm not buying the blue one. Sorry.
But that means Sami Zayn's gonna get a new shirt soon. That means your wife has to buy the new Sami Zayn shirt.
Yes, we'll allow that. She needs more shirts. I still think she has more than Brian, but
Did she ever get the Tozawa shirt that I sent the link for?
No, not yet.
All right.
You know what? We'll wait till he gets included in the Alpha Academy T-shirt. Then we can get the.
Yeah.
I mean, he is training with them now.
Yeah, that backstage. Yeah, there's 64 days until Christmas or something. You got time, Joe. No problem. But what do you think about that direction though? Yeah, because now Sammy has this conflict, and this is not the byproduct of the trade, if you will, that I expected to come from it. So it really piqued my interest, and I'm curious where your guys' thoughts were.
He just needs to fucking man up, be a man, do his job, and move on. Cut his hair, trim his beard, win the IC belt. Repeat. Super
clean Sammy's the way to go. Okay. I put this in our rundown as Meat Mania, and whether it is or not, that's for anybody else to decide. But how fucking great was that Gunther Bronson Reed match? My God, everything that was going on with that, I was just captivated by. We're kind of in a similar situation with Gunther, with same thing as Roman. I don't see him losing on a Raw randomly, right? So you kind of know where the outcome is going in. but still,
It's
fun as hell, right? Fun as hell.
Yeah, I mean, Bronson Reed beat Okada.
I know, I love that.
Tokyo Dome.
I love
This
that.
guy can work.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, if there is someone who didn't like that match, they have problems, and I don't want them listening to this podcast.
Yeah. I loved it. I thought, Gunther had to pull out all the stops to get his championship. Bronson misses the tsunami.
It's just interesting now that this match happened after the Hobbs Miro match from a couple weeks ago on AEW. And if they're starting to go that route, I know we had that email a couple weeks ago about the meat division.
Yeah.
Brian, you've been just like your meat man tournament thing.
Yeah. I'm the committee chairman of the meat tournament 2023-2024. Yes, I think there's an angle there to do that. I don't know if you could do this weekly and year round, but there's something there, and yeah, you're right. I think Miro and Hobbs, because of the crowd, just put it over the top as far as just like, yes, big motherfuckers beating each other up. There's something to that.
Well, Brian, it's like the UFC. When you have a heavyweight fight, it gets eyes. It gets more eyes than the strawweight or the featherweight or whatever. It's just to see big men doing that is amazing. And I'm glad we're getting it a little more often. I'm glad that Bronson Reed's, getting the run. Now that if it's true that it's Triple H's show, we're going to see those types of people. We're going to see the Bronson Reeds. And I mean, I know AJ Francis got let go, but maybe Hit Row does something because that's Triple H's team that he brought back. And some of the others. Yeah. Look at Chelsea Green. That was a Triple H hire and a return. And she's unbelievable right now.
Well, and to go back to your analogy about just the big guys, there's a little something more to it. Derek Lewis, you're the big UFC guy, Jay. Like, he is he's been a fringe contender, right? I think he's challenged like Cormier for the heavyweight championship. And other than that, he's just kind of a middle guy. He's ranked number 5 in the division. But if he's on a card, you want to watch him because he's got that one punch knockout power that can take somebody out. And so it's kind of equivalent to kind of what we see with these big guys in WWE. It's different, but it's the same.
He's an amazing social media follow, the Black Beast, Derek Lewis. Look him up. You will be very entertained by what this guy does. I mean, Christ, the guy took his shorts off in the middle of a fight after he knocked someone out. And Joe Rogan said, Derek, why are you taking your pants off? Because my balls were hot.
Yeah, it's outrageous.
I mean,
we've all been there.
Yeah. Balls are hot. Take the pants off as soon as you get in the door. But he was doing it in front of an arena of 20,000 people and got paid handsomely for it.
Yeah. So kudos for that match. That was fucking great. Speaking of, I guess, another fighting ring, but it was coming over to SmackDown. Last Saturday, Jay, did you order the Logan Paul Dylan Dennis fight?
No.
You did it. Okay, good for you.
No. I am fascinated with Jake Paul and the stuff he does. So I will pay for a Jake Paul fight. He came out that December 15th is going to be his next fight. A lot of people are leaning George Masvidal, which could be interesting.
Oh, that would be fun. Okay.
But I don't know how I'm not sure how that's going to fly, though, because he retired from the UFC and still has fights on his deal. So I don't know if that's actually going to happen. It could be Tommy Fury in the rematch. I mean, I don't know. Maybe it'll be Matt Riddle. Who the fuck knows?
Yeah. The point. So Logan beats Dylan Dennis. From everything I read and saw, it's kind of a disaster. Of just
your daughter could have put up a better fight.
Yeah,
more offense. So he literally just, did not throw any punches until the end, and he it was a disaster.
Yeah. So Logan in his post-fight interview of, I think maybe Ariel Helwani saying like, "What's next?" calls out Rey Mysterio in the U.S. Championship. It's like, this is the world we're living in right now? Okay, sure. And I believe that they're having, some sort of presence, confrontation, if you will, on Friday SmackDown tonight. Joe, what do you think about this for Logan? If presuming we're getting Logan and Rey a crown jewel, a U.S. Championship run, maybe. Is this something that you like?
He's not going to win it, but more
No?
Logan Paul on
Okay.
TV, the better. He's not going to win it.
Really? Okay.
Like, what's he going to do? Is he going to, like, does SmackDown really need 2 champions who are never on the show?
Okay.
He said in his post-fight interview, "I'm not a boxer. I'm a WWE superstar."
That's funny. That's great.
I think that maybe this is the beginning now of him maybe taking this a little more than a part-time thing.
Well, if he stays, then I'm all for it. But if he's not, if it's going to be this same schedule, then no, he's not going to win. But more Logan Paul on TV, the better. But
yeah,
I don't see him sticking around. So this is just going to be a fun match for Crown Jewel.
Okay. So my first thought when I heard this was happening, I was like, cool, Logan's going to win. And he's going to be the champ. I think that's a fair point about, well, we have to have some championships on SmackDown if Roman's barely there, and now the U.S. Championship would be barely there. I don't know if it has to be
the tag titles are pretty much on Raw, so we're gonna have like just basically the main champion on SmackDown would be Io Sky.
Yeah, it would line up that way. Yeah, I don't know. I just love. I think the spot of him being the champion is incredibly appropriate and appealing. But I don't know. You're right. You want to think bigger picture of, are you going to be here this Friday and that Friday? I wasn't thinking quite like that. I was thinking more about the appropriateness of his ability and the appeal of him being the champion. So we'll see what happens on SmackDown tonight. Next, guys, I want to talk about WWE and Jade Cargill. So, of course, we talked about the signing, and the first thing that we did, I think we had a nice spirited discussion on, well, where should she go? Should be NXT, Performance Center, or Raw, SmackDown, whatever. Well, the answer as of now is yes. All of them. She'll be on every show. She was at the Fastlane show. She was on SmackDown last Friday, a little backstage thing with Charlotte. She was on Raw on Monday with Becky Lynch. This past NXT, the show ended and they had like a little clip of her like tapping her fake watch.
Oh, wait. Did you watch NXT?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so it was whoever walked off and she popped up on the TV in the room.
On the TV, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so
it was I think
Lyra.
Valkyria was watching, right? So at the very end, because she's got the Halloween Havoc title match, I think next week, and then the TV that she was watching became Jade tapping her wrist as in looking at her watch. So what do you guys think about this approach? It's not necessarily like where's the fit, but the direction is she's everywhere. And I'm curious as to guys think that's something that's effective or not.
Swing.
I love it. It works great in every way. She's not some rookie. She's the biggest free agent signing this year, and they are just trotting her out until the right time to make the debut, whether that's a run-in, whether that's just a straight-up match against jobbers, or they put her in against somebody like Charlotte Flair, which I think is a mistake, but Charlotte is good enough, and shut up, Joe, that she can work Jade through a great match.
I already said that like 2 weeks ago that Jade would have to be with someone like Charlotte or Bayley. I think Bayley would be a better.
You said
choice,
Bayley, I remember that. Yeah.
But
forward motion.
Yeah, it's like I'm all for this, but I think it's destined for SmackDown.
It is.
Joe, I think you're cool. No, just kidding. You suck.
Yeah,
No.
Joe. Like,
Brian.
oh,
That's not very nice, Brian.
No, terrible. Terrible.
I forget what I was gonna say. Go ahead, Joe.
Oh, thank you. That's okay. Yeah, you know what? I think it's 75% of making Jade a big deal by doing this, but I do think it's 25% of hey, AEW talent that may be having a contract coming up soon.
Oh,
Look how we're doing this with her.
Oh yeah.
And if
That's
it's
a part of it, right? I think so.
It'll be huge.
What's
And
that?
it's working.
I said, if whoever that talent is, if they can actually work, they can come right in, just like Cody did.
Yeah, and I think they'll have to have a balance of we can't have her show up on all these shows for another 5 months. I think backstage people are like, "What the fuck? You got to wrestle at some point." Like it's not going to be a cool thing at that point. But I do like, that in this time, I'm sure she's at the Performance Center learning the WWE style and improving.
Didn't they do something like that with Eva Marie when she came back the second time that they kept delaying her debut?
Yeah, completely.
Yeah, don't do that.
So what happened with that? It was a big thumbs down, right? It didn't work. So, you got to strike a balance. Like I said, you got to maybe do a little bit more of this, but eventually she's got to get in there and shows what she can do to make it work.
Is there any chance, any thought, any percentage this turns into an Eva Marie situation or an Emelina situation?
Oh, God. Oh, I'd hope not.
No, they wouldn't. They wouldn't roll out the red carpet like this and have it be on national.
They didn't think the other two were going to tank.
Yeah, but they didn't do it on ESPN and Sports Illustrated and everywhere else either. They kept it in house.
They pumped this up so big.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah.
Is there any chance this fails? Any percentage?
There's always a chance.
I'd say there's a chance because none of us thought for me, I thought she got better in the ring, but I think when she signed, I think I said this, I think her longest match in AEW was 9 or 10 minutes. Well, that's not going to cut it. That might cut it on Raw, but for a PLE, you're talking about the main event of WrestleMania or something. It's not going to work. You got to do double that. Yeah. So she's got some work to do. Yeah, I don't know. All right, let's move on to the rumor mill. Randy Orton. This came up. Jay, you sent this to us. The band that does his theme song, Rev Theory, which I was like, whoa, they're still around? That's a Q106 hit list band there, Joe. So it's been a minute since I heard from Rev Theory. And they kind of teased that Randy's coming back. I think maybe 3 weeks ago or so, he was like, oh, he's spotted at the Performance Center. So signs are pointing to him being back here pretty soon. Well, we last saw him with RK Bro, and we know that Matt Riddle is not with the company anymore, so that's not happening. So love to get your guys, dream thoughts on a Randy return. How does that look? Who is he with? Whether friends or feuding with? What would you want to see if he's coming back, and what's he's going to be doing?
He can do whatever he wants. That's where he's at right now in his career.
Yeah,
he can do whatever he wants, and it's like what I'd like to see. You know what? Have him be the next feud with LA Knight.
Oh.
That means that LA Knight is still in the main event without being in the title picture, and he doesn't have to go from undisputed champion to intercontinental champion matches. I think that's a step down. He's got to be against main event players now. So that's what I would say.
Like that. Jay?
Logan Paul.
Yeah. For the U.S. title.
Another good one.
Or Randy beats Gunther.
Oh, that I don't think I want. I want somebody. I want him to make Gunther to make someone.
All right.
That's a hell of a match, though. Let's do that match. Absolutely. So my direction that I was thinking was, can he play a part in this Cody, Sammy, Jey Uso thing? You know, will more people like Sammy, let's say, turn on Cody as far as just, with Sammy, it's my friend got traded, Kevin Owens. I don't like this,
Has Randy Orton had any run-in with the Bloodline over the last couple of years?
Yeah, they beat him out of TV. It was they lost the tag titles to the Usos.
Correct. Yeah, that was what I was gonna say. I think, and that might have been his
SummerSlam
last...
3 years ago in Vegas.
No, that was just a random SmackDown.
Yeah, it was a SmackDown
when they unified the titles. That was
Mhm.
the last we saw of Randy, and that was and then Riddle ended up facing Roman Reigns on a random SmackDown for the championship as well. So
Mhm.
that was the feud.
I'm thinking it more along the lines of like, does Cody need backup? Does he need some support? Because here's Sammy now against him. Judgment Day is against him. Maybe Drew McIntyre continues to have issues because he has issues of the whole Jey Uso thing to begin with. I'm not forgiving him. Maybe he directs some issues with Cody. So maybe Randy comes in as kind of a backup support thing, and maybe they do a little thing for a hot minute until Cody moves on to Roman.
If that happens, then Cody is by far dumber than Sting, because no one trusts Randy Orton. He's always turning on his partners.
Well, yes, and they've done that together in the evolution, or what? I don't know, what was their legacy.
Yeah.
Legacy. Yeah, they did that back in the day, so they have their history too. So, okay, well, that's going to be fun no matter what. Let's move on to AEW. A couple of things of note, I thought, from Dynamite this past Wednesday. Thankfully, we don't have any amazing Tony Khan tweets to recap and break down. Shout outs to the social media team. Jay, I know you saw this one of be careful, everybody. He's about to tweet
something stupid.
Shit. I think he was on his good behavior this week. All right, so
or he lost his phone.
Maybe that. Let's talk about, so we're about a month out from Full Gear. It's MJF and Jay White, and they had their thing again this past week on Dynamite. MJF ended up getting back the Triple B. How are you feeling about this feud, guys? Is it doing something for you that you're eager to see this match? You think maybe Jay White has a chance? I mean, we still got some time before the show, but kind of getting your temperature of where things are as of now.
AEW always does something for me.
Hi, Cody.
I gotta go. Bye.
Coney Ton, ladies and gentlemen. Always a fan. Jay, yes. Jay, how you feeling about the feud here with MJF, Jay White?
I thought it looked right. Jay White with the belt, the guns, Juice Robinson. That's DX.
2 words for you.
I don't like that part, but I think it's kind of lame. But the visual looked right.
Mm-hmm.
And if this is how it goes, and Jay White is the new champ, I think that is the perfect direction for AEW moving forward. I thought it was interesting that MJF, paid Dustin Rhodes to kick Juice in the dick with the Shattered Dreams.
Shattered Dreams coming back.
But Juice ended up winning, so it doesn't matter anyway.
No, he's out $100, let's say.
But I do like the visual of Jay White as champ, with the guns as the New Age Outlaws and Juice as X-Pac.
Yeah, that's a great comparison. There really is. That's not where my head was. Joe, sorry.
No, he already went.
Too many J's on this show. And Joe, so yeah.
I can go again if you'd like.
Yeah.
Coney?
You're good, Coney. You're good. Thank you. Always here for us.
Thanks,
What are you
bye.
thinking here, Joe?
All right. I would love to see it happen. I think I don't like this new MJF.
Okay, you're not a fan of the face MJF here. Okay.
No, he's not a face, and it's like it's forced. It's like no, and it seems like for the past couple months, he hasn't been like the main champion has not been the focus of the show, and that's always weak. So I think like they need to do a reboot here, Control Alt Delete, and let's see if Jay White was worth the big signing that they made a big deal about back in April. Give him a little run up until Revolution. Who cares?
So you, what would you say? Because it's not having the focus it should have. Like, has something else been kind of taking that focus?
Yeah, all the past couple months has been nothing but the same thing. Like the focus is Blackpool Combat Club and Jericho and the Elite, and when Punk was there, and the only thing that was like really a focus with MJF was him and Adam Cole, but then that turned into a comedy tag team thing that was in the middle of the show, not the main event.
Yeah,
I like to see I like to see my company champion close the show, not be in the middle of the show.
Yeah, I think too. Related to that note, Joe, I think. Jay, you and I talked about it last week of the Adam Cole, Roddy Strong video, or like, okay, no more. I think this one this week was the one that everybody else said, okay, we're making peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. Like, this isn't funny.
Wait, there was a bit with Roddy Strong?
You didn't catch that? Yeah.
No.
Yeah, so Cole.
Apparently I didn't.
You must have. Yeah, Cole is still at the house with Roddy and what's his name, Tavern and Bennett, and they were like, Cole, you remember back in the ROH days, you used to make the best peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. And Cole was like, I did, you're right. So then they go into the montage with like the cheesy 80s music they've been doing. And it's like, the peanut butter. And they're spreading. This is a video, by the way, Jay. They're spreading the peanut butter around and all this. And he puts it together.
That's not very nice, Brian.
Yeah. He gives it to Roddy. And he takes a bite and he's like, and Cole's like, what's wrong? Adam, I don't like crust. Take off the crust. And finally Adam Cole snapped and is like, you know what? I've been here for weeks and I need to leave and get surgery. But well, Coney, can you
defend it? Say anything bad about AEW, because there's really never anything bad about AEW, but this sounds really bad.
You know what I saw, Coney? When somebody posted the video and somebody put in the comments, Vince wrote this.
Who's Vince? Vince who? I don't know who that is. Is there a Vince in AEW? No? I guess not.
I gotta go. Bye.
Hey, that's his line.
Sorry.
Right. I gotta go. Bye.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. So that sums that up. And I think everybody agreed that if it had
I missed it, but
Brian,
I'm glad I did.
Brian, you lied to us.
Explain.
You said you missed something. I didn't miss anything.
Oh,
there was nothing there I missed at all.
Yes.
No.
It's not a go back and you have to watch. My dramatization of that segment probably will do enough to paint a picture.
I think even your drama, your recap was too long. So I could imagine what the real one was.
Okay.
Moving forward, anytime you say reenactment or a dramatization, we got to hit this. That's what we got to do moving forward.
I didn't hear it, but we're doing the finger wave.
Did you hear it there?
No. Mm-mm. I'm going to pretend it's a like Wayne's World.
Nothing?
No, nothing.
Nope, sorry.
All right. We love you, Roadcaster. You'll get it right. Okay.
But what about the Tony Storm picture in picture?
What about that? What do you think? Tell me.
Cheap joke about the jewelry that was mentioned. I'm like, oh, come on. And I'm sure the sponsor who bought ads for that really liked the pearl necklace joke that was next to their product. I'm sure they were probably really pleased about that. It's like, okay, we bought this commercial time for picture in picture for this, which is like, a bit. It's supposed to be funny. But which one are you watching?
Right.
And listening to? Like the sponsors are probably just like, I'm just going with the business standpoint of like, I wouldn't be too happy with AEW if I was spending money on an ad that no one's paying attention to.
Everybody's watching the picture in picture in that point.
I fast forward through it. I didn't even wait.
Yeah.
You didn't miss anything.
It's interesting.
But my recap was way shorter.
Yes. I see the strategy because you
the
want
silent
to see
movie.
what she's doing, but you're right, Joe, from that business standpoint, maybe for the advertiser, they're like, oh, but no one's paying attention to what I'm presenting here because we're all watching Tony Storm and her black and white feature presentation. But MJF, I thought this was interesting, guys. MJF had two other references and angle, if you will, starting on Dynamite. So Wardlow, he's been back a couple weeks. Another squash this week. And Shivani tries to interview him and say, like, what's going on with you? He just shows his wrist tape and it says MJF. And he ends up shoving Shivani and leaving the ring. So we had that. We also had Kenny Omega being interviewed by Renee backstage, and he kind of talked about his future once he got past Kyle Fletcher, and MJF approached him and ended up doing I want to shake your hand. We haven't really done this before. And he whispered, like 13 days, bitch. And I was like, I don't know what this means. What am I doing? And quickly found out 13 days means he will have a longer title reign than Kenny Omega's title reign. So that's what that was referring to. But guys, I thought that was something worth discussing, that, okay, we have this MJF Jay White feud. They've already planted the seeds for two other guys, Wardlow and Omega, next in line, going after him too at the same time. Did you guys pick up on this like I did? Because I thought that was something of note.
Everybody should be going after the champion.
Thank you. I love that.
What's the problem? Like Wardlow, there's history with it, but he's damaged goods. So back of the line, create a wrestler number 3. But Kenny Omega, it's like more elite stuff, and he'll put on a good match. I'm fine with that. But everybody should be going after the champion. Everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Like Dustin Rhodes should be going after the champion. He shouldn't be accepting a payoff.
Oh, that was just to kick him in the dick. That wasn't like a.
I know.
But he's still trying to win the match too. Yeah.
It's what it should be. And the fact is that this, to my knowledge, is the first time that we've had multiple people saying they're going after it on any wrestling, not even just AEW. I just mean in general.
Oh, absolutely. Right. Agree.
That's cool.
Yeah.
What's not?
Yeah, I'm all for it. Like everyone who's like a contender should be putting a bullseye on MJF's back.
Yeah.
Yeah. This I think everything we've been accustomed to has been the one-on-one thing, and there usually isn't somebody lurking to be next. And this one episode, they threw 2 of them out there. So
and this is proof why Tony Khan is the greatest booker in the history of professional wrestling. No one's ever done it before. Multiple people saying they want the heavyweight champion. Never been done before. Tony Khan, Booker of the Year. Book it now, Meltzer. I'm Tony Khan. I gotta go. Bye.
There it is at Meltzer.
Let's check the database right now. Elimination Chamber 2002. 6 people said they wanted to be champion.
Okay.
So we still have 3 times as many than 2 people on this. So let's slow down there, Coney.
Shut up.
Booker of the Year.
20 years of statute of limitations have run out. It's okay.
Oh, let's wait, checking the computer again. Oh, the Royal Rumble every year. 30 people.
Oh, come on. Okay. It's different. It's still
But this is different. No.
Fucking mouth. Yeah.
I'm sorry, you mentioned Meltzer. That just made me angry. I don't know why.
You're making me angry, Joe.
Really, I haven't noticed.
Easy, Cody. We'll get through this together. All right. I liked it too, guys. I think that's a cool direction, and I don't know who will be next, but it's good. It gives you some intrigue.
Let's talk more AEW. That's what I want to talk about. Let's talk about more AEW.
Let's do it. Cody, Sting. Oh my God, Sting. The end is near. He comes out. He does his promo.
A perfect example of long-term booking.
Yes, that Sting would be that. He announces he's retiring. His last match will be Revolution 2024. Revolution is usually like beginning of March.
You know, it's weird. I mean, he's only been wrestling for like 2 years, and this guy's going to retire.
No, I know. Coney, any chance he jumps to WWE?
So he'll be dead to me if he jumps to WWE.
For
that shit.
Yeah.
2 years of wrestling and you're gonna retire? Like, come on, bro.
Cody. WCW. Look it up, brother. You'll be your eyes will be wide open. It's amazing. Telling you. All right. So yeah, no, he's not going to WWE. This is Sting.
No.
He pulled out the line. I love that line of the only thing that's for sure is nothing's for sure. But he said, yeah, it's for sure. I'm retiring at Revolution. Guys, who do you want Sting's final opponent to be? Who is it?
I don't care.
Tony Khan is the big
us after 2 years? Who does that?
Jade.
He better off. He said he was going to the store for cigarettes and never come back.
Damn. That's the icon we're talking about. Who we got?
Is this the reaction that Sting's getting on his announcement? Crickets?
No. Be nice to Sting. Be nice to Sting. Who is it, guys? Who do you want? Who do you want? Is it Hogan?
No.
Okay, just saying. Who is it?
I don't care who he faces as long as it's his last match. It doesn't matter who he faces.
Okay.
Like it could be Sting and Andrade versus Jeff Jarrett and Jay Lethal. Book it. I think that would be a good.
I hope it is match. That. That's what I want. Actually,
that sounds like something that's never been done before. Yeah, we should do
right.
Yeah, I think that's
never been done.
Yes.
Oh.
I don't know.
Or the mayor of Knoxville County. You know, you can't get the original. You might as well get the mayor to go against them.
I don't get that reference.
Kane. It's gotta be Kane.
Oh, it's a W.
Oh, sorry. There's a mayor who's pretty big in Knoxville County, Tennessee, Glenn Jacobs. I heard he used to wrestle, so maybe give him a shot. He's young enough.
Was he
no, he hasn't, but he's a young upstart that AEW would definitely want to look into.
Yes, young upstart.
Based on their signings, he's in the average age range.
I mean, if we're going to lose this dead weight and Sting in 6 months, maybe we can get this guy Kane that you're talking about. I mean, that's awesome.
Mayor Glenn. That's got to be Glenn.
Cool.
Oh my god.
It's glass. I think that's my Shivani impersonation.
Yep.
It's
Oh man. In reality, I'd like to. Shit. Sorry. I mean, does it have to be Darby Allin? Right? I mean, that's immediately where my head
that's
goes.
the obvious one. That's
He's
the
gonna
obvious
say,
one.
yeah, he's like, if you want to be everything you want to be, you gotta beat me in my last match. And
he's gonna say, "I'm sorry, I love you," and hit him in the head with the skateboard.
yes, with the skateboard to the head.
Maybe it'll be Nick Wayne's mom.
Oh well, that's
Greatest actress ever.
Oh my
She's
god,
so terrible. So
She was awful.
terrible.
I think that slap may have been the worst recorded slap in history of the.
He missed.
Yeah, she missed.
I was like, oh.
I don't know why he pretended that he actually hit him. I mean, like, come on. This is the realest sport in the world, and this just acting like that. What the hell?
The wind force from his mom's slap was enough.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know who it'll be. I think that you're assuming that it is Darby Allin.
Yes.
Because, whatever that saying is about assume.
Yeah. Ass out of you and me, unfortunately. Oh yeah.
I gotta go. Bye.
All right. Thank you, Coney. Amazing. Jay, hey, Sting's last match.
Yeah.
You were a big Sting guy from the NWO. He jump into WWE days. We're going back talking about that.
Yeah.
Joe's under the impression of like, hey, whoever it is, whatever, it's gonna be fine. Although I do love your Andrade versus Lethal.
The tag match. Just do that.
That is pretty amazing. He put over Ric Flair.
They're all there. They're all there.
You know, I am more interested in what the special gift from Tony Khan on next week's Dynamite is going to be for Sting.
Yeah, he did. That did come out after the show. That'll be on this week's Dynamite, I believe. Right?
I don't. As far as the match, I mean, I just think it's weird they're announcing. Like, why announce it? I mean, this is just to get that like Kareem Abdul-Jabbar retirement tour where you get like a rocking chair in every city.
Yeah.
Right.
And I don't love it for a guy that he's not a major player. He's not.
Sting?
Yeah.
Well, he's not a major player now, but
well, we're living in the now. We're not living in 1985.
Okay, but don't you want to show some respect to a guy who's been doing it from like what 1986 or whatever?
Is this like the Kareem thing or like the most recent, the Miguel Cabrera goodbye tour in MLB this past summer?
Who's that? Who's Miguel Cabrera? Is that Ryan Cabrera's brother?
Yes, it's Ryan Cabrera's brother. He played for the Tigers and the Florida Marlins / Miami Marlins, then the Tigers. Ryan Cabrera's brother.
Look, Brian,
last Triple Crown winner.
More than anybody, my love for Sting.
Right.
Years did I send you a text every Monday? Sting's going to show up tonight. Sting's going to show up tonight. And he never did until
all
he finally
did. Yes, all the years.
So, look, I think it's weird that they announced this 6 months out. I don't really care who it is. If it's going to be Darby, that's kind of lame and that's kind of lazy booking. Give me something new. Give me something that I've never seen before.
Okay. I think I got it. Sting retirement match versus Roman Reigns. Let's book it. Let's get that. Okay. No, that can't.
Mean Mark Calloway is going to show up.
The guy that was on NXT the other night. Wow. Yeah. Holy shit. That's a dream match if I ever heard.
Sting versus Captain Insano.
Yeah. Oh, wow. That could be. That could happen.
Could be it. Maybe Adam Copeland.
Sure. Fine. Sure. I like Darby because Darby's insane and he'll do stupid, insane things for Sting's last match. I'm all about it.
Will it be a real match or will it be cinematic?
Real. Sting will want real.
I don't think they can Yeah, it's gonna be real.
Yeah, he's gonna go out and like I said, you want me to jump off a balcony? Sure. He's crazy. So he'll do that one more time and call it a day, and that's all right. He's earned the right to do that. We will miss you, Sting, but hey, we got a couple months left before you officially call it a day, according to you.
His gift will be next week a surfboard.
What is the gift? Yes, it's
a surfboard, an AEW surfboard for Surfer Sting.
Lifetime supply of face paint.
Is that your choice? A surfboard?
I'm gonna say surfboard.
Surfboard.
Brian?
I said lifetime supply of face paint. We'll never have to buy it again.
He's retiring. He won't need it.
I presume he lives his day every day. I presume he lives his life that way.
I can't go out. I got to put it in my face.
I can't imagine he goes to CVS not wearing face paint. That's how I want my Sting to be.
What? Yeah.
I see you laughing, Joe. Come on.
Well, I'm not hiding it because I think it's stupid, but go ahead.
It's a great.
What if Sting becomes the general manager on screen, authority figure?
Oh, okay. That could be lame. That could be cool for like 2 months. That'll be lame, but I'll take the 2 months of enjoyment.
All right, let's move on.
All right. Well, I don't think we have to move on any further. I think we're done, guys. This has been great.
I want to talk about.
Yeah. What's going on?
Yeah. So this past weekend, I worked the commentary table again at RWA, Renegade Wrestling Alliance, and the RWA commentary table is becoming the NXT parking lot. Doc got laid out.
Oh my God.
This month, Tony Kincaid got laid out. So I got to call the show with Doc, and we had a title change. We had me forecasting the future of RWA by the name of the wrestler named Gorgeous Gregory. Buying all the stock in him now. You should do it too. He's the future of RWA. He's the future of the business. We had an insane unsanctioned street fight where they used a Pepsi, just one Pepsi. They used a Diet Pepsi, and then they just threw the whole cooler at this guy in the crowd. It was awesome. And finally, we had a huge, I don't even know what you'd want to call it, but I'll use Taylor Swift terms. We thought they had bad blood, and they were never, ever getting back together. But then it was mad love. Pretty awesome. IndieWrestling.network to check out RWA's Bloody Harvest. Me and a friend of the show, Mike Doherty, on the call. And exciting news, I've been added officially in the third seat, and hopefully that means I don't get taken out next month at the show like the past 2 months.
Jason, you're next.
Yes, I hope. I don't want you to be taken out, but I want you to get smacked.
I want to see you.
I want to see that footage.
I want to see you get taken out and then come back on the show with a neck brace on, just screaming our names.
Get your own neck strong shirt going on.
Funny. Anyway, yeah. So
we love you. Come on.
IndieWrestling.network on YouTube. They stream live, and they have a constant stream of different wrestling shows from around the Pittsburgh area. It's pretty cool setup. And we are almost at our goal of 4,000 YouTube subscribers. We're doing really well. Amazing. And thank you to everyone who has subscribed. And if you're watching on YouTube, thank you. Make sure to leave a comment in the comment section below. And if you're listening to us audio on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you're listening, leave us a comment there too, and a 5-star review. That'd be awesome. That'd really help us out. And if you have questions for us, you can send us an email, thatwrestlepod@gmail.com. We're on X. We're on Facebook. We're on Instagram. Sad news. I deleted the TikTok because we were.
Oh, okay. We're not ticking or talking any longer.
No,
okay.
no. So no more TikTok. But the rest of it's there. You can pick up merchandise at our whatamaneuver.net store. And Brian, is there anything else? Or did I get everything there? I think I knocked it all out of the park.
Yeah, you did, man. We are golden. We're good. And maybe next week we'll be all four of us back together if Kevin can escape from his cave.
Maybe
not. We'll have to see. Everybody, hey, you know what's going on this weekend. There's no big shows, but if there is, cool. And if not, find it if you can. Enjoy wrestling, everybody. We'll talk to you next week on That Wrestling Podcast.
Thanks for watching That Wrestling Podcast on YouTube. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. And for more That Wrestling Podcast content, follow @ThatWrestlePod on social media.